whatever is going on in your life, you have to walk in those affirmations, right? We have to walk in those affirmations. I am a master trader. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777, right? We have to walk in it. Now you add to them, but that is the foundation of what we are looking for. Look, I'm divine abundance, moves in perfect circulation in my life. Okay. And then, of course, you know, we have to add to it, right? I'm a BYOB wealthy woman in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, right? We want to walk in it, right? And then, of course, what are we declaring and decreeing this week? NFP is my best week. NFP is my most profitable week with BYOB Cashout. I see in Jesus' name. I am 777 in Jesus' name, right? We definitely are walking in that. I'm blessed. I'm divine. So we are definitely walking in that. Good evening, Dyer from Jamaica. Good evening. You know, I'm going to get excited. I see my last name on this call. So good evening, Orlando, the accurate signal. Good evening. So now, once again, this is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, and this is BYOB Market Talks. Good evening, Clyde from Baton Rouge. Good evening, Baton Rouge. So I will not be denied. Okay. See that mindset? You see how you guys have made a destiny decision? You see how you are walking it out on purpose? You see how you are doing that? This is what you have to, this mindset, the mindset. So, you know, tonight is tools training. Thursday nights are tools training. So we are about to dive into some tools. But we also understand that tomorrow is NFP, non-farm payroll, right? Non-farm payroll. We have been preparing for that all week long. Good evening, Chicago. So we have been preparing for that all week long. We understand how to ride the wave of the market. I have been seeing some significant 777s in the chat, right? I've been seeing so many 777s in the chat. I've been seeing you all take some significant profit, right? I even saw 100%. Did I see it? So, right, I have been seeing it. And that is because you all are the signal. You all have learned to master the market, learning how to generate real wealth and freedom, right? The largest economic empowerment movement in the history of mankind. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm feeling really good about what we have prepared you for tomorrow. We have prepared you for, right? I'm really excited tonight. So let me go ahead and get my screen shared together with you guys. Now, if this is your first time on a call this evening, let me get a 111 in the chat. Your first time with us this evening, let me get a 111 in the chat. And if you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. Your first time this evening, let me get a 111, but you're still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. So you already know what we're gonna do first. We are definitely going to talk about, right? We're definitely going to talk about the BYOB cash out. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about the BYOB cash out. We're definitely going to do that, okay? But I have to welcome you all. I gotta welcome you all. So we're going to talk about the BYOB cash out. We're definitely going to talk about some of the waves that you all have definitely rolled today. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about some tools training. So anybody, Tuesday nights are basics. So a playlist on the YouTube channel has definitely been created for some of you all who want the basics. That's why we definitely have been doing that. You know, but we also have to make sure you guys know how to utilize the tools. So we have definitely separated the training for you all. But after this call, make sure you stay put because you got to hear from Dr. Bythewood, right? Your RX for Forex, the one and only finance doctor. I mean, we have definitely prepped you for this week. We really want to make sure you understand that NFP, what's happening, and understand why you've been in so much profit this week and what tomorrow is going to generate you. So let me get the screen share together and going here because you still don't see it yet. Here we go. Now you see my screen. So before I actually talk about the BYOB cash out. I want to know, like, because you guys, I know we talked about gold on the live training call this morning. So what did I tell you guys? It was gonna hit, right? So where do we hit exactly? I don't want 75 points, right? I don't want 75.1. I told you guys it was gonna go to like 75.0, like exactly. So I just want a 777 in the chat if you actually rode the wave, right? Because it actually got, I'm trying to get to like right there. That's exactly where it hit. Cause I didn't say like 75 point anything. We on the call when we sat there, we marked everything up. It got to like that 7.5 exactly. So you had a little pullback on the way, right? We rode that wave and we got up to 2,075. So we rode that wave before we got a little pullback right there. And that's exactly where it got to today so far. So this is how we become economically unbothered, right? This is what we're doing. We're actually cashing out. And so we're making money, we're profiting in the market. So this is what we were able to do. That's why all those surfboards and you guys were just, I saw that gold. I saw the 777s on gold in the chat today. And so I also know, right, and I'm bringing this up tonight because there's so many of you all, right? This is the Dow Jones US 30. It's so many of you guys, right, that are waiting. That job report that hit today was so much better. So it's so many of you guys that are waiting tomorrow. But you can kind of see what's been transpiring. Let me close this one. You can kind of see what's been transpiring, what's been hitting. But I know this one, right, that's US 30. Look at the NAS, right? So look how high this, we're hitting some record highs, right? So this is us, cashing out all day long, so look what happened. So, this is like I told you guys this morning, right? Told you guys this morning it was going for that buy. You had a little pullback initially, that's why I kind of explained to you about this morning about being able to trade it on a higher time frame if you could handle the pullback. And then, if I just look down on the lower time frame, you can kind of see, right, how you had a little bit, but now you can kind of see where it's riding. So just tomorrow, just remember we got NFP. This is not, I don't want to spend a lot of time here right now because this is not what we're training on tonight. We've been talking about this on the morning calls. We've been going into great depth on the morning calls with this. And so I just want you to understand, but you guys, this at $1 a point, right? At $1 a point at a minimum, at a minimum, that's it. You guys should at least, at $1 a point at a minimum, that's like $200 right there. And it's the NASDAQ. So that's just at $1 a point that you guys, and if you roll the US 30, you had significant profit opportunities, right? And so this pulled back initially, but it's the same thing, right? So that's 283 right there before it pulled back. So even still,
he represents that he will support.
So this is what you're looking at right there. So just get ready for tomorrow, right? Non-farm payroll. It's going to be some liquidity pushed into the market tomorrow. Just want to kind of make sure you guys are prepped for that. We don't have a call tomorrow. So, we had our opportunity last month, but we don't have a call tomorrow. So just want to make sure you guys are ready for that. I'll be looking in the chat for all my 777s. So let's talk about the BYOB cash out. We got quite a few 111ers on the call. Let's actually talk about the BYOB cash out. And then we're going to talk about what we're here to train for tonight. Okay, we're going to talk about what we're here to train for tonight. So actually excited here this evening. We had a wonderful, wonderful week this week. And now, if you got any questions while we're going through this, just drop it in the chat, and then so you understand where we're headed tonight. Last week we talked about pivots, and we're gonna take it up a notch tonight. Okay, last week we talked about pivots, and we're gonna take that up a notch tonight. So just get ready. So right here, the BYOB cash out is simply made up of three indicators. Okay, and stay with me. All right, so It's simply made up of 3 indicators, okay? 3 indicators. Now, what those indicators are, I got my stochastic. That's down here at the bottom. This is my stochastic. Then I have candles, right? The red and the green are candles, okay? The red and the green are candles. Now, these are actually Hikinashi candles. These are Hikinashi candles. And then the dots that you see, the dots are what you call a PSAR, which means parabolic stop and reversal, okay? That's what we call a parabolic stop and reversal. Now, how does this work, okay? What I'm looking at first is my stochastic. My stochastic is a leading indicator. It measures the momentum. So as I'm looking at this, way down here, when I see, let me move this from by this little thing, is I'm looking at this around a 20. Now I need you guys to stay with me on this, okay? I need you to operate in understanding, right? I need you to operate in understanding and not memorization, okay? So blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, okay? Blue line cross over the red and a downward momentum. This has to happen around the 20 and around the 80. That's simply this shaded area, okay? That's what this is. That's simply this shaded area. Blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. Blue line cross over the red and a downward momentum, right? Blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. Cross over and cross down, cross over and cross up. Very, very important, okay? Very, very important. That has to happen. This is my leading indicator, which means I'm starting with this one. Now, Hikinashi candles. These are not Japanese candles, okay? I understand that they're Japanese candles. I wait on, right, Japanese candles. There are certain things that I have to wait on. There are certain things that, you know, I wait on the second candle. So eliminate all of that because the Hikinashi candles translate for me. They interpret what the Japanese candles say. So you don't have to, all of the rules and all of the things that you follow with the Japanese candles, right? All of the rules that happen with the Japanese candles, no, you just eliminate all of that. What's happening is you're looking at this, and when that green candle flat bottom happened, that's what I'm looking for. And then I need this PSAR. The PSAR, like this one, I'm looking at a buy. I got my crossover and my cross up. I got my green candle with a flat bottom, and then I got my PSAR that actually flips to the bottom, right? I got my PSAR that flips to the bottom, okay? When all that happens and all of that's lined up, okay? All of that's happened and all of that's lined up, then I actually have a trade like this set up right here. I actually have a trade in that setup. So that is simply the BYOB cash out. How do I catch the pairs at the stochastic crossing? When you get them, it's already happened a while ago. You don't, this, like when this happened, this is a leading indicator, that's a lagging indicator. You never want a leading, and you never want all your indicators to be leading or all your indicators to be lagging, right? So this is leading and that's lagging. So they're never gonna happen at the same time. Like very rarely do you see where they happen right at the same time or very close together. So like this one is almost like this one happened here, but do you see how it's still time before that one happened, before the lagging happened? They're not gonna happen at the same time. You shouldn't even be thinking they will happen at the same time. The way when you understand how this works, the stochastic happens based on what's already happened in the market, based on historical data. Like I believe that this is gonna happen because of historically, when all these other things have lined up in the past, this actually is what we believe is going to happen, not based on the fact that something has happened. These are lining up based on, these are lagging. So these are lining up based on, well, this happens because, right? So for example, right, I have a child, okay? Let me do it like this. I have a child, and let's say I would normally, without COVID, I take her to school like every morning. I would have to drive her to school all the way on the other side of town, right? It's a 30-minute drive. So my stochastics means that I take her to, like, based on the fact that it's Monday through Friday, it's a weekday. Based on the fact that it's a weekday, I have to take her to school. So the stochastic is saying, based on the fact that it's a school day, it's a weekday, based on historical data, we're going to make the assumption that we're going to go ahead and get the blue line cross over the red based on historical data. Just go ahead and we're making the assumption, and we're going to push the momentum in the fact that we know there, so we know that it's going to happen. Like, this is a school day, you know, you got to take her to school, right? This is what's going to transpire. That's what the stochastic is saying. It's a leading indicator. It's leading the fact that we know it's a school day. It's a leading fact that we know all these things are about to happen. That's a leading indicator, right? It's leading up to these things. It's not taking into account that it might be a holiday. It doesn't take into account any of those things. It's taking into account that it's a school day. It's a Monday through Friday. She's in school age child, all of those things. That's the stochastic. The Hikanashi candles are, and the PSAR is lagging. This means that we actually got her up out of the bed, right? It's lagging. That means some activity happened. Something actually happened, right? Something transpired. So this means I actually got her up out of the bed. I made her start getting ready. She actually ate breakfast. There's some activity happening that says that we actually got to moving. So something happened that's got us in motion. Then this one is saying, look, we got in a car, we're driving, we're heading in this direction, right? I'm making a turn into her school. So we started getting dressed. She got her school clothes on. She's got her uniform on. All of these things right here transpired. This one, we're in a car and we're turning into the school. So this one got us lining up, right? This one got us lining up. This one, we're getting dressed, eating breakfast. This one is just the fact that it's a school day. So this one is based on historical data, what it is. This one, we got some momentum in the right direction, right? So I need both of these, because what if I got her up and then she wasn't feeling good? So I would have never gotten a car, right? So that's why I need both of these. So that's kind of how that works together. So they're not gonna line up all at the same time. I gotta have all three of them flowing together to actually get her in the school and get her in the building so I can pull off, right? That's how that works together. So I need all three indicators. I gotta have all three. Gotta have all three. Now, but they don't happen at the same time. I'm not in the car because it's a school day. See what I mean? So they're not gonna line up at the same time. So now, right, just because the stochastic cross means something in the past happened, right? It's a school day. It's a school day. We woke up and it's a school day, but that don't mean she's out of bed yet. It doesn't mean she's gotten up out of the bed. She's not out of the bed. We haven't gotten in the car. It just means it's a school day. But what if it's a holiday? It's still a school day. You know, it's still technically, you know, it's a weekday. It would typically be a school day, but it might be a teacher planning day, right? Might be a teacher planning day, so we're not going anywhere. I'm gonna let her sleep in, right? So now we want to do what's called time frame confluence, right? So you gotta let everything line up. So that's why we can't just trade off the stochastic. We gotta let everything line up. So now I gotta drop down to the 5. My 5 need to still be buying, right? I gotta have time frame confluence. Because why do I need time frame confluence? Because the lower time frames do not tell me where the market is going. The higher time frames tell me where the market is going. The higher time frames tell me where the market is going, right? It's the higher time frames. So drop down to the 5, and then I want to come to the hour. Why is that? The lower time frames, is something gonna change? Because all activity happens on the lower time frames, right? All the activity happened on the lower time frame. So it's the higher time frames that actually tell me what the market's doing. It's the higher time frames that actually tell me what the market's doing. So I come to the higher time frames, and the higher time frames, in like the hours, my swing in the market. So now I actually know I can grab my 10 pips and cash out, or I can trade to the resistance line, because you need to understand support and resistance lines. And I know I could trade to my support and resistance lines. If you are a 111, you don't understand support and resistance lines, right? Then guess what? Get your 10 pips and get up out of there. So get your 10 pips and get out of there. I know you'll understand pips as you're going through there, right? We're not on the 5 minutes. Stay with me. Stay with me. You're not trading on the 5 minute. You're trading on the 15 minute. That's where everything needs to align. On the time frame you're trading on. On the time frame you're trading on is where everything needs to align. Do not need it to align. I said it needs to still be buying. I'm not trading on the 5 minute. It needs to still be buying. My 5 minute has been buying. My 5 minute was buying a while ago. It needs to still be buying. Still be buying. Keyword still. Keyword still. Keyword still. Now, and for us to go into detail, if I have time at the end of this call, right? If I have time at the end of this call, we'll come back to this, right? This is not a basics call. If I have time at the end of this call, we'll come back to this. I want to make sure we have enough time for what I want to train on tonight. So, right, it needs, buying is up. Buying is up. But on every call, we're going to go over the strategy. Every single call, we're going to go over the strategy. Every single call, we're going over the strategy. If we have time, I will definitely come back to this, okay? So if we have time, I'm going to go back over this. This is why we broke the calls down Tuesday, for us to go into very much so detail for all those questions that you all have. If we have time, I'm going to come back to this, okay? Because you guys got some questions that I want to answer. So if we have, but you got quite a bit of questions. So if we have time, we're going to come back to this. But if not, bring these questions back to Tuesday night's training, because that's what Tuesday night is for. It's for us to dig deep into the basics so we can make sure, right, BYOB basics, so we can make sure we get all those questions answered so everyone can understand how to trade the BYOB cash out, right? But on every call, we definitely are going to go over this, right? Yes, BYOB challenge. Let me put the YouTube channel in here. There it is right there. But what I want to talk about tonight, so you get your 10 pips and cash out, you go to the support line, or you can actually take it if you're like a more advanced, then you can understand how to take it a little bit higher. Now, what I want to talk about tonight though, okay? We're going to talk about some pivots, okay? So what I've already done is we're on GBP USD, and my stuff is not loading. My apologies, right? My apologies. I will have a new modem tomorrow. So, but we're not using that tonight, thank God, right? So what we're talking about right now is where we come grab these, this information. I want to walk you through this right now to show you where I pulled this from. Then I'm going to take you up a notch, right? So this is the market. I'm on the hour time frame, okay? I want to show you, where we come into this tool, and you understand, okay? You understand. Now we come in here and it's going to give us the currency, okay? You come through here and we get information, just like a recap from last week, right? A recap from last week. So we got what happened, the performance of this currency pair over the last week, over the last month, over the last 3 months, over the last 6 months, year to date, and then of course the last year. We got information. It's giving us our technicals that we would want to buy it. We come look at the more technicals, right? I can look at it on any time frame I want to. I'm gonna just pull an hour, right? So on the hour, overall it's telling us that it's a sell, right? Based on our oscillators, moving averages, right? And as I come through here, this is what we looked at, moving averages, right? Oscillators, looking at the different oscillators that they have, looking at the different moving averages, but what we want to focus on right now is the pivots. So what we did last week is we came in here and we pulled these pivots, right? These are our pivots that we pulled, okay? These are the pivots, okay? And come through here, and I marked the pivots up already. Now I want to show you something, right? Remember like when you were in school and the teacher said, when you were in school and the teacher made you do the math and by hand before you can actually pull out your calculator, okay? And you can kind of see the major pivots. Well, last week was your math by hand. So now I'm gonna help you understand how you can actually do your math by your calculator. Okay, so now you see where you come get your pivots from, and you have to come in and you mark it up right there. So you can actually come to this little F right here. This little F right here are indicators, okay? You see that little F? Right there it says indicators. I can actually click this, right? And when I click that, I can type pivots, okay? And if I click the standards, pivots, oh, I already have it on there, haha. I already had it, so I had it hidden. So if I click it, if I unhide it, they're now on my chart. So now the pivots are now on the Vibrata, right? And I can see my major support and resistance lines on the pivots. Ha 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 ha. Now you got your calculator, right? So now you got pivots on your chart. And so now you can actually see where they are. And what gets even better, so I'm gonna take these off in a minute because I don't want you looking at this and it looking like a coloring book, right? So you can actually see as I'm looking at this, okay? You can actually see as you're looking at this, right? Where you see that how on my hour, now remember I told you that the pivots recalculate, okay? That the pivots recalculate. They calculate on the high, low, the low, and the close, okay? So you can actually see where they recalculate, okay? And now you can actually see where they recalculated from the time before, okay? And I'm on the hour, okay? But I'm gonna leave these yellow ones on here for just a moment, and then I'm gonna take them off. So you can actually see the ones before where they recalculated. And so, but even though they recalculated, what I want you to focus on is the simple fact that this is still a support and resistance line, because you can actually see, right, where this being a support and resistance line, look at how, right, this is still a support and resistance line in the market. It's still a support and resistance line, but this was that center point, and look at where the center point was previously, right? So every time frame is going to have a pivot point. And now if I come to, like, let's just go to the 30-minute, right? Every time frame in the market has a center point, every single one. Now look where it was previously, right? Look where it was, okay? So if I widen it up a little bit, and it's really not that far off from this one, it's just a simple fact like I did that one on the hour, right? So that one was on the hour, and you kind of see where it's at. And you can kind of see, like, as this one is moving up, right? As it's moving up, you can kind of see where that is a trend, that's an uptrend. And you can still see where, like, this uptrend where you see, now see how you, look how your question has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And then you're gonna be like, how'd you get them pivots? See, now, look at how it's still coming, and look at how it bounces off of that line. Look at where my look at where it's at and how it pulls up and how it comes down. But I'll come back to that. But you cannot change that. Which one is the previous exactly? But you can just answer your question though. You can't change this. You cannot change this. So when you do a watch list, when I say make your watch list or add it to your watch list, you're actually writing it on a sheet of paper or something like that. What you mean? Which one? Oh, when, like the one right here. So the one, so it's like this right here. So look right here. You got this, you got this. Like this is the one we're on. You notice how wherever we are currently in the market, these are where my current pivots are, right? These are where we currently are. This is where my current pivots are, right? These are where my current pivots are. These are where my current pivots are. And then if I move it over, you see these are where my current pivots are. You see it? And then if I drop down to the 15, right? You see how they adjust a little bit? Now look how closer they are. Right, so you're gonna have them where you are currently. So you see how it adjusted and we're moving into a new pivot zone. Because these just adjusted, your mind is blown. So we're moving into a new pivot zone. So these are new pivots. They just adjusted on the 15. So my 15-minute chart just gave me new pivots. My 15 minute just gave me new pivots. So you see it? So now look at it, how this was on this pivot point. And so you see, and this, so now it moved up and it's right here, right? And so you can kind of see how it was on the resistance, but as we're moving into here, it actually gave me new pivots, right? And why is that? Look at what the date is. The date is the 7th, right? Even though it's not the 7th for us, right? It is the 7th, right? It's not the 7th for us, right? Each time frame has its own pivot. Each time frame has its own pivot. So even if I come in here and I look in here, right? Each time frame has its own pivot. If I come, every time frame has its own pivot. Look how that number is going to change. It will be on YouTube soon. It will be on YouTube soon. So it will be on YouTube soon. So like if I didn't mean to close it. So if I come here, see? So it's going to adjust. Now, of course, that one's not going to adjust as much because it's lower, but they're going to adjust. You say it's a game changer. Yes, it is, because it's going to really help you understand the market and how the market moves. So let me let me delete those other ones. So, well, it depends on what you're looking for. Do I personally use the classic? Yes. But like, think about it. When we go to the harmonic scanner, you know, those are the Fibonacci's. So it just depends on you as a trader and which ones you like to use. So, you know, I stick with the classics. You know, they haven't failed me, but it just depends. So, but they got different ones, you know, just based on the type of trader that you are. And so, you know, it just depends on you as a trader. And you can kind of see even on the 15 how this has been in the uptrend. Now, what I want to show you, let me get rid of the let me get rid of that for just a minute. Let me show you something, right? So look at how, as it's been in this uptrend. So look at right. So look at this. So watch how it's been in this uptrend and look at how the pivots move in the market. So you can kind of see even on the lower time frame, right? Look at how this has moved with the market, right? Look at how this has moved with the market. So look at how, you see how it's bouncing and how the market, so it's moving. And you see, look at the P is that pivot line and you cashing out during the call. So during the training call, I'm not mad at you though, make your money. So, you know, and it's, so you see how it's still moving. And you can kind of see how it's still like how it's focusing around these pivot lines and these pivot points. And look at the main pivot line though, right? All of these are pivot points, but look at the main pivot line. And you see the pivot point, the pivot, the P, the pivot point is like that center point of the market, right? That's the sense. So it adjusts and it kind of keeps you focused on where the market is and where the market's going. So it kind of helps keep you focused. And then if you understand what the BYOB cash out is, because you understand, you learn price action as you go through the academy. You learn price action. And then you understand the BYOB cash out, you put the BYOB cash out on top of that, you understand the 3 areas of value. You understand why you go from price action percentage where you're really trying to understand the market and how it moves. And then you understand the BYOB cash out and the 3 areas of value and what it does. And utilizing these tools that are within the academy, you're understanding the tools and allow the tool, you know, utilizing the tools and with the accuracy rate behind the strategy, using the tools. I mean, you're in a win-win situation. You are really in a win-win situation, right? You're really, really in a win-win situation. This is why I love you. Talk about insert head exploding now. This is why I love you guys. So, but you guys, I mean, you can really see how you, and I mean, you can see, I mean, look at where the actual pivot point is, right? As this has been uptrending. So now look at this. You talking about yours too. Jeez. So look at this. So look at how this is like, right? So look at the pivot point. I'm gonna come back, right? So you can see, right? So as the market has been moving, look at how it's moving, right? Look at how the market is moving. Look at how the market is moving. And you can definitely see, but it's always around these pivot points. And you can kind of see how it bounces around there. So it's not being held, it's just that this is what I mean about the market starts to talk to you. So I love y'all. I feel for people not using BYOB strategy. So this, you can actually see, you know, how the market starts to talk to you. And when you really just sit back and watch it. So now let's come over here, right? Let's come over here. Ta-da, look. Look where it stopped. Look where it stopped. Look where it pulled back today. Let's take it down. So, I mean, you still gotta, you still have to, right? So look where it kind of stopped. Now this is not, it's a lot. Now remember, it's fundamentals in here too. So I'm just like this. So I do a lot with understanding like all information when we're on the calls and everything. So I don't want you just like coming here and be like, well, this is the pivot point, this might take profit, right? Because there's a lot of fundamental analysis. I'm on gold. But there was some fundamental analysis that went into me giving you this take profit, right? So for me, I wouldn't know how to read. Oh, so there's a lot of fundamental analysis that goes into indices and metals and things. So there was a lot of fundamentals that went into me giving you some take profit when I said, okay, I'm gonna go analyze this and I'm gonna give you some information. And then I came back and gave you a take profit because I didn't want to give you a take profit without analyzing some information and looking some stuff up. But look exactly where it took profit at a pivot point, right? It was at a pivot point. So, but there, like I said, was some fundamentals that went into it too. So I don't want you to just be like, oh, it's a pivot point, right? It was a pivot point. Well, I'm honored. I wouldn't know how to read a chart without you. I'm honored. I appreciate that. So, but this is definitely, you know, you want to always make sure you take this when you're dealing with this. And so even so now, let's go look over here, right? So you still want to make sure, right? All the things we talk about. So like right here, right? You see how it stopped right here? It stopped before the pivot point. So it did stop before that pivot point. So this is like some of the things that I'm talking about, but it's still a support and resistance line, right? So it's going to be a support and resistance line right there. So it's a support and resistance line. A pivot point is just a major support and resistance line, right? It's a major support and resistance line. I can tell you it's a support. I like, see, look, it's support and resistance line right there. Look left, look left, look left, look left, look left. This is support and resistance line over there. Look left. But it's something else that was happening in the market. So look left. You got to take consideration of that. So look left, but it's just a major one. So it doesn't mean it's done, right? This doesn't mean it's done going up. It's just at a support and resistance line right now. So it doesn't mean it's done, right? It doesn't mean it's done. I'm just telling you where it's at and why it stopped. So I just want to make sure, but those are take profit points. So I'm just telling you why it got there, like what's happening, what what's transpiring. Okay. So, and you notice that they're different on each one. And so you notice that we actually, right? So I want you to know too that you got your pivot, and we stopped at like R3 and S3, right? We stopped at R3 and S3. R3 and S3. So R3 and S3. But you notice it goes higher than that. Remember, I told you it can always go more, right? It can always go more because it's just support and resistance lines. So they're just identifying it. But if it goes outside of that, then it's a strong possibility it's going to readjust. Or those are just, if it goes out of there, it can bounce back down. And we'll get into like where we look at some market structure on these and kind of look at what happens with the market structure and some of those things. But I just really wanted to get in here tonight and show you these pivot points so you can definitely see, because you notice that where they really staying within the pivot point, and they kind of get within that R1, R2, and then they'll even push out to that R3. But once they get to that R3, how often are they really pushing, right? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. R3 and S3 are really the limits. R3 and S3 are really your limits. That's exactly what I'm saying. So if they push outside of that, the pivots are going to adjust. That's the strong support and resistance, and they'll bounce back. So that's a strong support and resistance. And I just really wanted to kind of show you that this evening. Now, you don't struggle with support and resistance. Change your affirmation. If you say I struggle, then you're affirming that you struggle, and you will continue to struggle, right? If you say I struggle, that means that you're affirming that you struggle. So you always want to make sure that you do not affirm that. You don't want to walk in that energy. So I need more clarity, I need more clarity and things like that. But you always want to create the energy that you walk in. We create our energy. We create our atmospheres. And so you always want to make sure that you create. That's why we start these calls out with affirmations, because of what you are walking in wealth right now. You're walking in a wealth environment. So we can create, we create our atmospheres. So we create those. So, and you're right, I do not even look at the R4 and R5. I wish they didn't have it on here. I really wish they didn't have it on here. So, because if it gets to that point, you're not really gonna see, if it gets to that point, then for a fact it's about to adjust. So even looking at it, I don't think I've really seen them there. I mean, it's almost pointless. So it's like a coloring book. It's just too much on there. So that's why I erased the other one. So any questions? Anybody have any questions on this? Drop it in the chat. There you go, Mike Jones. Like, I'm a master trader. All my trades in profit. Walk in that. You have to walk in that energy. Any questions on this? I love it. I didn't say you don't always take profit. You still want to, you still want to make sure that you want to make sure you understand what they are, right? And you don't want to ignore, you want to come in here and take your trade the way you're supposed to, right? So you wanna come in here and you wanna come in here and analyze your trade the way that you're supposed to. You still wanna do everything that you're supposed to. You wanna, blue line cross over the red, right? Blue line cross over the red, Green candle with a flat bottom, right? Peace off flip to the bottom, right? You know, you want to do all of that. You want to make sure you do all of that. So you definitely want to do that. And see right here, that was a take profit point. And then you was able to come here, and that was actually a continuation, right? Until it went to the next day, right? So let me see, can you color code the pivots? They were just loaded in here. So I'm gonna answer these two questions at once. So right here, indicators, right here, type pivots. They actually have different pivots in here. So, but right here, the ones that we're working with right now are the pivot point standards. And this is the ones that we have right here. And they're actually just loaded in here. So they're gonna be orange. They're loaded in there like that. So they're just gonna be orange. That's just how they're loaded. The haha one-on-one FX. So I don't think I hardly go anywhere since Corona. It's like I leave and come home. Ta-da. I really don't do too much. Let's see here. Can I add pivot? Once I add pivots, I can use the trash can to delete. Can you? Oh, you right here? You talking about right here? You can remove, like if I want to remove them, I just removed them right there. They're gone. See, ta-da, then I can just come add them back. And I could just come right here and add them back. Now they're back. Pivots are back. Now I have pivots. Right, now you got pivots. So, and they're on every single time frame. You are welcome. So they're on every single time frame. And yes, you do use them where you can actually go from zone to zone. Like you can use them. You see like on this 15-minute. So, I mean, you can use them, but you want to make sure, right? You want to make sure. You want to get in there. You want to, now you guys already know what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you to get your demo. If you've never done it before, you already know what I'm going to tell you. Because you're a master trader. You are the signal. All your trades in a profit. And you are 777, right? So you know what I'm going to tell you. Get your demo account and work it out and practice, right? Get your demo account and practice. I can say I learned something new every call. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I'm going to tell you, because you are the signal, and we're going to work this out. So you tell me, should you ride it out? Should you ride it out? Because I'm going to tell you, this is a training call. And we were supposed to come back over here to answer those other questions because I got about 5 minutes to answer those other questions. Now, hold on. Y'all help him out. He in the CHF. Somebody help him. Somebody help him. Are you in a buy or sell? There is no liquidity in this. You in a buy or sell? You should already took profit. I don't know. We don't do CHF. And it's hardly moving, right? It's hardly moving too. That's like 9 pips. When did you get in? It's not even 9 pips. It's like 9 pips. That's why I said help him out. Somebody help him out. CHF have no liquidity. Like it really has no liquidity. So this is like 9 pips right here. That's 14 pips on a 4-hour time frame. I mean on an hour time frame. When did you get in? That's why you're probably not in profit. It's not the fact that it wasn't going in a buy. It's the fact that there's no liquidity. That's what the issue is. It's the fact that there's no liquidity. So it's not the fact that you didn't analyze a trade right. It's not the fact that it wasn't buying. PSAR even just flipped on the 30-minute. I can come back over here to this one, right? I come back over here to this one. Take the same thing. Look at that. That's 25 pips right there on this one. CHF just has no liquidity. That's why we never pull it up. So as soon as you could take profit, I say take your profit. So now let me go back to those. We got about 5 minutes. We did the pivots. Let me answer those questions that we had. Let me kind of scroll back up. This strategy works. BYOB Cashout. It works on everything. It works on everything. It works on everything, any time of the day, whenever you want to trade, whatever you want to trade. So it works on everything, no matter what you want to trade, when you want to trade. So whatever time frame you want to trade it on, it works on everything. So it works on everything. So, but as I said before, because you are the signal, you can actually put it in. I want you to put in your demo account first. So, no, they were laughing. You are welcome. Glad to have you here. Does it work on swipe trades? It will confirm your swipe trade. It will confirm your swipe trade. Now, I don't do signals. I don't do signals. I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't do signals. So, and I don't do signals because you are the signal. We are gonna, what we do is teach you how Be Your Own Bank is the largest economic empowerment movement in the history of mankind. And so we've accomplished that because it's through empowerment. You want to gain real wealth and freedom, you're going to do that through being empowered. You're going to do that through being empowered, and that is by you learning. Signals, you have to sit and wait on someone to send you something. And so the reason why the chat is flooded with 777s is because you actually, no matter what your schedule is, no matter what your life entails, you actually can get in the market whenever you feel like it. You can pull up your tools. You can pull up the Vibrata. You can pull up your tools, just like you just said, they can work on swipe trades. You can take your swipe trade and you can come back here and you can validate it for yourself. You're not blindly trading. You're not blindly taking anything. Even if you get a signal, you can take that signal, you can plug it in here and you can validate it. You don't take a trade because somebody told you to take it. You can you can come here, you can look at the Vibrata, you can take it, you can analyze it, you can take something from the harmonic scanner, you can take it, you can plug it in here, and you make the decision if you take it or not. Even if I'm on here trading and I tell you something, you can look at that and say, well, you know, Ms. Dyer, what trade whisper? Guess what? This is what I see. I'm the signal. I'm the signal. And you take your trade because it's your take it. You know, this is your ticket and you want wealth. You want wealth. And that's where this comes in. Yep, you used to take it blindly and get upset because signals don't build wealth. They give you gas money. Okay? Signals give you gas money. They don't build wealth. So what? So, so wait, you say Trump signed orders on a Chinese app. What would that do? Like anytime he do it don't matter. It's gonna make me some money. That's what it's gonna do. He signed orders on a Chinese app. What it's gonna do? It's gonna make me some money. The market gonna go up or it's gonna go down, and it's gonna make me some money. Anytime he does anything, I follow him on Twitter. So regardless of what he does, I'm gonna make some money. So that's what it does. I make money when the market moves. That's the beauty. And that's because we understand the difference between investing and trading. So this is where you have to have emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. We don't care what happens on CNN, MSNBC, or any of that stuff. We watch financial news. And that means that the market moves. Anytime the market moves, we make money. The market goes up, we make money. The market goes down, we make money. We ride the wave. We make money on movements like banks do. Banks make money on movement. So if it goes up, I make money. If it goes down, I make money. When Corona hit and it was going down, you know how much money we made? Because we understand movement. We don't have to physically buy anything. People made a lot of money because we're economically unbothered. That is what we are. We're economically unbothered. So we make money on movement. I personally don't have TikTok. I don't have time for it. So I don't have time for it. I don't entertain it. I entertain wealth. I don't have time for that. But what I do know, based on financial news, there is an FBI report out on that thing. And so he can't just say, oh, we're not gonna have this. There's an FBI report on espionage. So it's way bigger than that. So because of that, it's about American safety. So, but how do I feel about it? It's about our safety. If it's about our safety, then I'm okay with it. So if it goes down, then guess what? I'm gonna ride the wave and I'm gonna make some money. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ride the wave and I'm gonna make some money. How do you look for the best pairs to trade at the moment? So we got about 2 minutes left, and you see this right here? You see this right here? Where the trades are not coming in? Where the trades are not coming in, we use the Vibrata. So on that YouTube channel that I dropped, though, there's a training session, right? There's some playlists. It's called the Vibrata, using the different time frames. It's got a training on there about all the different time frames. It's got a training on there about using the harmonic scanner and bringing it back to the Vibrata. And I mean, literally, you'll have the pivots on there soon. So about how we can, utilizing that. So all of this will definitely be on there, like adding this on there as well as because what I'm doing is showing you how to use all the tools that IM has to offer. And we'll definitely be having all of those playlists on there. So we're diving into all the tools that IM has to offer, and you're gonna know how to master the markets in its totality. That is what's happening. You're mastering the market in its totality. So tonight, I want you guys to master these pivots, right? I want you all to master these pivots. So that's what we're doing. You're gonna know how to touch everything in the company, every tool, everything that they have to offer. And so now you know how to put the pivots on the Vibrata. And so now you got a whole week. I mean, right? So even as we transition, right? Even as we transition, because it's time to transition this call, right? We're right here. What is this? Yep, you're mastering the market in its totality. There go to Bitcoin, right? There go your Bitcoin right there. So you got pivots on everything. So there go your Bitcoin right there. So it's right here. Look where your pivot line is. It's all right up in here. So it's all right up in here on the 15-minute chart. That pivot line is right there where Bitcoin turned around at. And now it's trying to come back and press back up. So you guys got this, right? You got it. So let me go ahead. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. Let me stop this recording.